Okay, Takadai Pickup Braid, session 1, and what we're starting here is with a pickup braid, 2 colors, and start off with move 1. There's no level changes or pattern changes, so the base pattern is, and I'm starting with the lower rail here. The black is on the bottom primarily, and red is on the top. So as I pass between to the lower level on the right, I will start with over 2, under 2, over 2, under 2, over 2, under 2, over 2, under 2, and then over 3, leaving the last one alone. Put the sword in to hold it, the shed open. I'm picking up the last one that I didn't touch in the pattern, and this gets passed through to the bottom rail on the other side. It's the same basic move for all 4 positions. So then I do the top on the right, so I go under 2, over 2, under 2, over 2, under 2, over 2, under 2, over 2. I leave the last 3 alone, and then I push all the bottom rail down except for the last one. Put the sword through to hold the shed open, and the top one at the end gets picked up, passed through the opening shed, so it's actually going under this last one here, passes through and over to the top on the other side. And then we just do a mirror image it over here. And for the notation that controls our pattern, it counts 4 positions. So I go over 2, and this under 2 here is 1, over 2. The second under 2 is 2, over 2. The third under 2 is 3, over 2. And the last under 2 is 4. And so when you use the pickup braid notation from the program I'm using, that's 1, 2, 3, and 4 for the bottom layer. And then we over 3 and leave the last one alone, which is the one that gets picked up, passed through to the bottom rail on the other side. And then for the top, under 2, and the over 2 is 1, under 2, over 2 for 2, under 2, over 2 for 3, under 2, over 2 for 4, leave the last 3 on the top and the one on the bottom, pass the sword through, top one here gets lifted over, goes under this one here, and then through the open shed and to the top rail on the other side. Okay, that was move 1 in this pattern, all 4 steps. And I'm just doing a quick notation here because for the first 9 moves it's the exact same thing. There's no changes in the pattern up to that point, and that's what gives us our 2-2 twill on the top and on the bottom. So that's move 1. Move 2. Three. And 4. So that makes a complete set of moves for sorry, I don't have a quick definition, but for a numbered step in the program, those were all 4 parts of it. Starting lower right, lower left, upper left. And we keep this through the whole entire pattern. Lower right, lower left, upper left. And that was complete move 2. And yeah, I do usually have to hold it for a little bit on most of them to let them untangle, because they do tend to get tangled a little bit. I'm using 9-pin coma on here rather than 6-pin, so they're packed in a little closer together. Once I get some more coma made, I'll switch them over to 6 if I get them done in time before this braid is done. I need to make another batch of Takadai, so I'll be getting more parts done. This was my second Takadai I made. Has a few design flaws in it, and part of it did break, which is why I'm holding it together with C-clamps. But once this braid is done, I will be able to fix it to where it's more like the rest of my Takadais I make. And that was complete step 3. And I just realized I made one mistake. I started counting one early. I had one left over from the last of the old pattern, so that was actually 2. So I'm counting them with notation rather than looking at the pattern. Let's see. There, now you can see that. It's easier for me since I know the pattern by heart, and I just need to count the number of moves until I actually get into the pattern. So. And since these are silk, they're a little harder to deal with than some of the other fibers I use because it tends to catch on my fingernails easily. I usually file them just a little bit so if they start catching. I work in a semi-industrial job, so they do tend to get nicked up a little bit occasionally. And that was now the actual complete move 3. And I have 6 left to go before we start into changes in the pattern. So under, over, under, over, under, over, under. Or you could look at it this way: 1, 2, 3, 4. One, 2, 3, 4. One, 2, 3, 4. And I do tend to do Tama drops as they're convenient. So that was move 4. One, 2, 3, 4. This is why I'm thinking of adding magnets, because these tend to, you can't see it in the picture. There tends to be a little slide back on some of the coma where the strings slide in between. Makes it a little more inconvenient. 1, 2, 3, 4. One, two, three, 4. Okay, that was move 5. One, two, three, 4. One, two, three, 4. One, two, three, 4. One, two, three, 4. And that was move 6, and it's time for the comas to go forward. So lift the front one, move to the back, slide forward. Lift the front one, move to the back, slide forward. Lift the front one, move it to the back, slide forward. Lift the front one, move to the back, and slide forward. Okay. Move 6. So starting in on move 7. 1, 2, 3, 4. One, two, three, 4. One, two, three, 4. One, two, three, 4. Okay. Starting on move 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. One, two, three, 4. One, two, three, 4. One, two, three, 4. Okay. Gonna pull this up a little bit. Okay. This is the last move before the pattern starts changing. So move 9. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let it untangle. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. One, two, three, four. Okay. That's it for my counts for right now. And I'm going to actually bring up the program that lets me read my pattern, or move up the program that lets me, verbal fumble. Okay. So, first move on this side involves a layer swap from the first, meaning these two threads, the tama are going to change rails. So I bring up the bottom one, move to the same position as the top one is, lift the top one, put it down at the bottom. No other changes on this side, pattern is run as normal. So for step 10, 1, 2, 3, 4. One, two, three, 4. Okay. And the left side of this move is also the same. First position tama swap. So the bottom one gets lifted up, puts on the top one for the same position. That one gets lifted up and moved down to the bottom rail. Pattern is run as normal. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. That was move 10, and I'm going to switch to move 11. You can see how I'm starting to get black coming up from the bottom already. Okay, move 11, it's the same as move 10 was, so we do the tama swap for upper and lower rails on this side, and run the pattern as normal on this side. 1, 2, 3, 4. One, 2, 3, 4. And the first position on this side also has a tama swap. And one thing about doing this is that when you move the shorter lower ones up to the upper rail, it tends to necessitate a tama drop where you're playing out more threads so that they don't get caught up too short on the sides. Okay, pattern is run as normal. 1, 2, 3, 4. One, 2, 3, 4. Let's see, it looks like I got a little bit of a wrap around here that I need to fix. Looks like some of the threads got tangled on this while I was rolling it. Apologies for this, but I really don't want to wind up with a knot. I'm going to pause this for a little bit. Okay, that's been fixed. Okay, so that's all of move 11. And moving on to move 12. Okay. I should take a moment to say that the Tama swaps happen only at position 1, counting up from the back, position 4, or thread 8, 12, and 16. So those are the potential positions that will have Tama swaps. So for step 12, on the right side, first position gets swapped. No changes in the pattern. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 1, 2, 3, 4. And on the left side, positions 1 and 4 get swapped. So one and 1, 2, 3, position 4. Got to roll a little bit out. Okay, position 4. And this one also has a number 1 pattern swap. So when I've been counting, I start with the bottom all the way through and then the top. However, the first one, top and bottom, are reversed. So I have to go through the top number 1 first, then bottom 2, 3, and bottom 4. And again, the first set is reversed in the pattern. So instead of going on the top, I go on the bottom 1, top 2, top 3, and top 4. Let them unwind. And that that goes on this side. Looks like that one also needs a little more unrolling. Okay. And that was step 12. Going on to step 13. You can see we're starting to get some of the pattern through here. Okay. This one, first position gets swapped, but no changes in the pattern on this side for this move. Positions have been swapped. 1, 2, 3, 4. One, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and on the left side here, just the first one is swapped for this pattern, for this move. And the number one position, the pattern is also reversed for this one as well. So I start with the top layer, 1, and switch to the bottom, 2, 3, 4. And in bottom one here, then top 2, 3, 4. And that is all of move 13. So we switch to move 14. And looks like it's 1 and 8 on this side that get swapped. So one has been swapped. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Lift number 8 from the bottom, let it untangle, and swap it for number 8 from the top, which then goes down to the bottom again. And remember, we're counting from the back of the Takadai to the front when we count numbers this way. And again, around on this side, for the first time, we're going to be swapping top and bottom in the pattern for move 1, or position 1. So instead of doing the one from the bottom, we do the one from the top. 1, 2, 3, 4. And again, this is move 14. 1 and 2, 3, 4. This side, we're swapping number 4. 1, 2, 3. 4 from the bottom with 4 from the top. And first positions are swapped top and bottom. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Lost my count here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, that looks right. And 1 from the bottom, top 2, top 3, top 4. And number 14 has been completed. And for number 15, first one, position. First thread, top and bottom gets swapped. And the pattern, first positions are reversed. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And 1, 2, 3, 4. And on the left side, 1 and 4 get exchanged top and bottom. So 1, and 4. 1, 2, 3. And number 4 is changed. And on this side, position 2 in the pattern is what gets swapped. So 1, 2, and 3, and 4 from the bottom. And 1 from the bottom. Oops, sorry. Nope. It's the second position, so 1 from the top, 2 from the bottom, and 3 on top, and 4 on top. And that is all of move 15. And I think we will stop for right now because it's getting a little late for me. I hope everybody enjoyed that, and I shall try and get the next one posted fairly quickly. Everybody have a safe time, and happy braiding.